What is going on, everyone? It's Tom from Two Guys Talking Toys with another quickie review of the Masters of the Universe Cross Thundercats Cheetara. She's another one who's already been freed from her prison, so I want to jump right into this crossover because I am loving it. I love the crossover ideas. I love when they happen, and I'm always fascinated to see what they bring to the table and how they handle it. So we are going to jump right into everything that's going on with Cheetara, because this is a really fun crossover, and I like seeing how Mattel has been handling it. So right off the bat, she is about, let's see, where's my ruler? Cheetara is standing round about 5.5 inches. Not too bad. Standard stuff for the Masters of the Universe Origins line. So she fits right in. And I think it's been pretty well established at this point that most of the Thundercat tooling is also just pre-tooling for the incoming 2000X line that Mattel is going to be working on. So not too much of a surprise in that aspect. But let's take a look at the detailing on this figure. It is spot on for the character. I love the detailing of the armor. The face details are really good. The sculpting looks really awesome. I like the way that the hair has been handled. Let's get some of that detailing captured. There we go. So I like the way that the hair has been captured, and just kind of little things like the way that they handle the short version of her staff. I like that it comes with the little arm attachment. I like that at the end of the day, we know what this is. This is just Mattel wanting to do a Thundercats line, and this is how they're handling it. So the story behind the crossover is super duper thin. So they're like, let's toss some Eternian armor on the Thundercats. We'll Thundercat it up, and then people can strip it off and dress up, make their own Thundercats. But let's take a look at the way that they've handled the Eternian look so far. So you've got the fuzzy boots. She's got the boots with the fur. She's got the cool front tunic. The body armor actually looks pretty good. I like this. It doesn't really feel like a cop-out, which they very well could have just done and slapped just any old thing on them. But I like that they kind of personalized it for the Thundercats. So she has, for her accessories, it's really just everything you need to make regular Cheetara. The extra hair, the lower parts of the boot. So once you've had your fun with her in the Eternian armor, or I'm still very curious to see how many people are going to prefer to keep her with the Eternia armor versus their normal Thundercat look. I tend to collect duplicates, especially once things start going on clearance in Target, so my army of Thundercats is probably going to start expanding, especially once those clearance sales start hitting. But I would like to, I'm curious to see who has what and where. As for articulation, it's your standard. If you've got any of the Origins figures, you kind of know what to expect. You've got the articulation at the head and the neck on a ball joint, full rotation at the shoulder, full rotation going on at the shoulder. You've got the elbows, you've got the wrist, you've got twisting at the waist. You've got the hip joints that allow for pretty decent range. Well, the back part right here limits it a little bit, but not really. Probably more so the actual sculpt. I think the sculpt is probably what is preventing a little bit of back movement. But the knee, full range there, and swivel articulation at the ankle. So you can get Cheetara looking pretty Cheetara-ish. You can get her into her running pose, which works pretty well. And if Mattel was as obsessed with clear plastic as Super 7 was, and I almost kind of hope that they are, at some point, man, would I love to see a clear-ish Cheetara while she's in mid-run, because that's great. I do love the Super 7 glow-in-the-dark clear yellow Cheetara, and I would love to see it on this scale too. But let's take a look at her conversion into her Thundercat form. So this is interesting. So, same thing with Lion-O. I know there were a lot of questions on how this was going to work, if they were just going to include multiple heads, or if this was going to be, a weird headpiece. But it looks like there's just some card ports. You can have her looking like Tilda Swinton if you want for a little bit, while you put on her regular Thundercats hair, which pops right on, which is kind of nice. And then let's swap the lower. We'll put on the lower legs. I don't know offhand if there is a specific left and a specific right lower leg. I'm just popping on the first ones that I grabbed and hoping that I don't do any damage to the figure. And get the feet on there. She's got tiny dainty feet. Which I am impressed at the ability to stand on Cheetara. I actually didn't have too much of an issue with her falling over. And let's get her out of this armor. Oh yes, and of course the limbs are swappable. So if you have other female characters with different armor that you want to try out on Cheetara, you can just do that. Using my vast powers of observation, pull at the waist, pop this out. Ah, you are, what's the word, snug? You are snug in there. There we go. It's always satisfying to hear that click when the joints all lock into place. You know that the build is solid, and you're not going to have to worry about body parts or limbs flailing and becoming a pain in the tail to work with. But yeah, so once you have all that done, now you've got your classic Cheetara, which I think a lot of people are here for, and she looks great. She turned out really well. Good job, Mattel. I love that this was a thing that they decided to tackle. Oh, you know what? I just now realizing that her short staff actually pops out of her arm gauntlet here. So that's pretty neat. And once that's gone, give her her full-size staff so she can handle mutants and anyone else that Skeletor may throw her way. Oh, they did such a good job with this. What a great figure. And I guess all that's left to ask now is who is going to be next in this line, because I feel like Mattel has nailed it. Between the sculpting, the built-in articulation, the Eternian armor extras, if that is how you wanted to have them dressed up. But if you're coming to this line just for a classic Thundercat, I feel like they're off to a really good start. So let's see where Cheetara stands when she's hanging out with some of the other action figures on your toy shelf. Here she is next to Masterverse Cobra Khan with the appropriate size difference, because he's a standard Masterverse but a big old beast if you want to stick him into the Origins line. Here is a standard Marvel Legends Ant-Man. And let's have her hanging out with the Lord of the Thundercats, good old Lion-O. This line is looking really good hanging out together. So far, so good. I am looking forward to seeing more of these come out and seeing what kind of design choices they make. So in quick summary, we've got us a really nice looking Cheetara. Mattel really kind of knocked it out of the park with this. The sculpting, really good job. The articulation, again, that's kind of baked into the Origins articulation, so you're not going to have any worries there. Being able to part swap and limb swap is always a fun feature, and you've got yourself a classic 6-inch Cheetara. I really want to see what they have planned for going down this line. I'm guessing the next wave has got to be the other Thunderians, I would think. So hopefully before this line is over, we'll get ourselves a Pumaira, Linkso, Bengali, all that fun stuff. But I would recommend picking up Cheetara. Go out and get her. She's available at Target now. I think she's in stock at most of the online retailers. So pick her up, enjoy, yell Thundercats a whole lot, all that fun stuff.